Welcome back to the channel. My name is Annika and we are going to do a quick, efficient, but powerful upload about the 2026 energies that are incoming. So I will start this off by saying that this is coming out before the Gregorian calendar new year. There are many calendars that are followed, and this is specifically sort of a man-made, more patriarchal calendar, but so much of the world does follow it that it does hold a specific energy pattern over the cycle of time that we all experience, because there's kind of more of an organic matrix where it's more in alignment with like the moon, the cycles of the seasons, and the earth. And then there is also like the calendar that was created that we all collectively kind of plug into and buy into. And essentially, you can extract power and align to any system. And in doing so, you are just assisting in supporting yourself and being the best you can be and making the most happen for yourself. So I like to use all of the opportunities that there are to extract energy. Essentially, this is a game of energy, and it's all about aligning your own energy so that you can make maximum impact with minimal effort, and just be in a space where you are able to make the most happen that is in alignment with your soul and in alignment with your destiny. And that is such a hack, I feel, is to not like make right or wrong specific ideas, systems, structures, because ultimately the secret is that the true alchemist, the true magic maker, knows that they can make gold out of anything. They have the Midas touch. Give them the organic matrix, they will make magic happen. Give them the organic, wait, did I say organic? Give them the inorganic matrix, give them the organic matrix, and they will maximize their energy and their efficiency out of both. Give them both, and they will use both. So it's all about just being aware and then being intentional and then using everything to serve your highest good, the highest good of all beings, because ultimately karma does exist. And what is karma? It is literally just action and reaction. So the intention and the action that you put out, you will eventually have to experience. So it's not a game of shame and blame. It is simply a game of, are you creating and putting out what you eventually are going to want to experience for yourself? Because that is just the name of the game in this boomerang universe. You feel me? You feel me? Okay, now we're gonna get into 2026. And like I said, there is the Gregorian calendar New Year, which happens December 31st, January 1st. And then there is the Lunar New Year, which happens in February. And then also, I believe like the pagans celebrated the New Year around the spring equinox, which is when Aries season begins in tropical astrology. That's a story for another time. Maybe we'll talk about that closer to the spring equinox. But for now, I want to talk about the numerology that is behind 2026, because numerology I find to be very powerful. It's not as like up to your own interpretation as astrology is or has become. It's kind of like a number vibrates a specific vibe, and we can all uniquely connect to it in a certain way, but overall there's like an archetypal energy that is behind the numbers. And I actually want to talk about more than just the numbers, but how the numbers relate to the tarot. I also find tarot to be such a powerful like archetypal reflection of all of the energies that exist within reality, and essentially like the hero's journey that the soul goes through. It really like holds the energy of it all and provides a powerful mirror for us, because these divinatory tools are just they're external expressions for us to learn about our own consciousness, which is this whole game of life that we're playing. That is the game of life that we're playing. And they are an external tool to get the reflections of the consciousness back towards us like a mirror so that we can learn and that we can grow. And sometimes I think when you're using tools like this, you can learn and grow without actually even having to like fully go through the full scope of the third dimensional lesson, which might take you a lot longer than if you use tools of self-reflection and you start to kind of get to know the way these cycles move and the way these archetypal energies move. And what's interesting about the tarot is it does go in numbers. So it's kind of like it like goes through a full cycle of like a hero's journey, especially the major arcana. The major arcana go from 1 until, I actually don't know what the final number is, so we'll look that up later. But essentially you can associate the numerology of the year with a number of the major arcana. So that's what we're going to dive into here today, because 2026 adds up to 10, and in some forms of numerology you deduce that 10 down to a single digit, which is 1, and then some forms of numerology like tantric numerology, shout out Kundalini yoga, then it remains a 10. And so both energies are present here. And I've talked about this in my previous videos, but let's think about the numbers 1 through 9 as being like the hero's journey, a journey of becoming, a journey of learning. You get tests, trials, tribulations, you get opportunities to learn. You're like really thrust into the like battleground of everything you need to do to become what you desired to become at the beginning of that cycle. It's like you have a dream for yourself and a dream for your life, perhaps, or things your soul wants to experience. Who are you going to have to become to be the one who can experience those things and be the embodiment of that? That is what you're going to go through in terms of the hero's journey, the arc of this 1 through 9 years. And so when we add up the year, 2 plus 2 plus 5, for example, 2025, it comes out to 9. And so it is, and the previous years were at the preceding. So 2027, I believe, is 1. And then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2025 is 9. So 2017 through 2025, we were going through one of these cycles in this specific layer of reality that I'm talking about. So you can think about the themes, all that you've had to learn, and the way that like you're almost tying up these loose ends. It's like I've been noticing, and I think this has been quite a collective experience, that it's almost like all of the things that we had to learn through these past 9 years, we're getting these organic opportunities to naturally, because we are this person now, we are this different person now, to show up and respond to situations in a way that is true for us now, that is very different to what our truth would have been 9 years ago. And it's like you don't have to force yourself anymore. For example, like what feels in alignment is maybe what you had hoped or like aimed to feel in alignment for you back in the day, but you hadn't like truly become that person through living and learned experience. And so it's like in this last year, it's almost like we've gotten all of the opportunities coming back up so that we can see for ourselves the ways that we've changed, the ways that we've shifted. It's like a graduation. And so that is the energy of 9. It is mastery, it is refinement, it is subtlety. And that is because the lessons become more subtle. Like you almost don't even realize that they're happening. And then you're like, sometimes you look back and you're like, oh, wow, I would have actually responded totally different to that before. And I actually didn't even have to try to stop myself from doing that thing. I genuinely didn't want to. Like, wow, I'm a different person now. But it's like very subtle. It's like a subtle, energetic game. And then it is mastery, because we're showing ourselves we've mastered all of these lessons. True mastery is like you just are it, you've become it, you don't have to think about it or force it anymore. And then there is, yeah, just that energy of graduation. Graduation is like when you finally pass the test and you're onto something new. And that's what I really want to get into here, is that 2026 is this new cycle, because it's both the 1 energy. We're starting a new 9-year cycle. So it's going to be like a fresh landscape. Like the arc of your hero's journey, it's a different story book. you've entered a new series, you've entered a new chapter. What is going to be like your overarching theme for this next 9-10 years, for this next decade of your life? For example, like, what was the overarching theme of your last 10 years? I could give you an example. For me, I feel like it was very much like healing and learning, because it's like almost like I had to like unlearn everything I had learned before, and then like heal everything I had picked up that was not me, and then like learn everything I wanted that was like actually in alignment with me, like a remembrance of all of, you know, things that I probably come in with my past life, but like you kind of have to reteach your human that. And now it's like I feel this like next 10 years can be like more of a consolidation and continuation, and a more of like a sharing from a cleared vessel. So those aren't like my exact themes for like the decade versus the decade, but and I like have more specific ones because I think it's good to have an overarching theme of kind of what you're manifesting, what you're creating, like what you're holding as the energy of this next decade you're moving into. But like that's a light example so that you can kind of get the picture, because it is really helpful to hold this overarching theme, and it helps you step into it and get your subconscious mind on board for this next level of expansion. You are a different you now. You have a different identity now. You can accept that. Like, you are new, you are more of a master at many things. And of course, we're always on this journey of learning, but for many of us, it is also time to share now. And so that's what I want to get into, is that like 1 is the energy of a new cycle, a new beginning, a new self. But 10, which is also very much here in the energy of 2026, is the energy of royal courage, embodying your divine energy, sharing your light, letting yourself shine and be seen so that you can offer your gifts that you came here to offer the world. So it's almost like everything that you learned and mastered over this past decade, now it's time to step into this new journey, 1 of sharing and shining, 10. And the thing is that is like the part that's up to you. You could get opportunities left and right. You could create opportunities for yourself, but ultimately you're the one who has to say yes to being willing to be a channel for the light that wants to come through you, because that light needs to find its way onto planet Earth, and through you is a very specific frequency and energy. And it is a frequency and energy that there are people who could only receive it from you, who would not be able to hear it if it was coming from me, who would not be able to hear it if it was coming from somebody else. Like, they resonate with you, and they resonate with what you have to share, whether it be art, whether it be your love, whether it be your teachings, whether it be you leading as an example, whether it be your style. Like, all of these things are like physical expressions of your energy and your light. And that is what 10 is all about. It's like, be courageous to share yourself from the like knowing that if you don't, the world is missing out on something that it will never be able to receive, and people who would only be able to receive it from you are never going to get that. And it's like, it's almost like it's your job, and it's like impersonal, because like the light ultimately comes from source, and like we were created in a way that's beyond our current conscious understanding. So it's like we don't necessarily have ourselves to thank for our specific like emanation. So it's almost like it's our job to be the vessel for it, and to let it come through, and to give it space to come through, and to open up different channels for it to come through. So it's almost like, don't let your ego get in the way of you sharing your light, because it's about more than just you. And we've been very brainwashed to think that sharing yourself is egotistical, but it's almost more egotistical to like get in the way of what wants to come through you in service to like a higher aim, a higher power, and like the humility to know that life is so precious and life is short. And the way that, I mean, 10 is the energy of like, it literally is like your radiance. Your light wants to come through you. We're all creative beings. That is the essence of existence, is creativity. And that doesn't mean that the creativity can't be a more left brain form of creativity, but it's ultimately like offering of your energy in some sort of way. It could be through new scientific discoveries. It doesn't even matter. So anyway, now to get into the tarot cards of it all, I'll get off my freaking soapbox. This one keeps wanting to turn over, which is funny because it's a wheel. Thanks for being here if you're still rocking with me. I love these tarot cards so much. Okay, so this is the one major arcana, the Magician. It is the one who has embraced their powers of reality creation. They are the energy of one who has taken and assumed full responsibility for their impact on their reality through their thoughts, through what they give their energy to, through their powers of manifestation gifted to them by source, by God, by the divine, whatever you want to call it, by this matrix that we live in that has certain rules and laws of quantum physics and manifestation that you can learn. And if you don't, you are just choosing to not use power that you have, which is fine, but that's also a choice. And you're always manifesting regardless. You are always manifesting regardless. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, and then like any sort of, he's like doing magical spells here, which you like are very capable of doing, like using actual manifestation tactics, spells, yogic kriyas, all of these things. Like there are ways to actually work with the elements of reality to create what you want to create in physical form here. And on the very base, the most subtle level is thoughts, words, energy. And you're always creating with those no matter what. So it's what kind of reality are you wanting to create? So with this energy of one, we're being encouraged to remember our power as creator beings, for we were gifted this power for a reason. And I'm not saying that means you can make I'm not saying that that means that everything is your fault. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have power to create, and you are co-creating this reality. You do play a part. Are you going to use the power that you do have for your own good and for the highest good of all beings? That is what is being asked of you, is to remember your power as a creator. You have the power of infinity within you, and whatever ways resonate for you the most, but the bottom line is thoughts, actions, emotions. Okay, so that's the one energy we're getting. It's a reclamation and a re-remembrance and a recommitment to wielding your divine power. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the 10th arcana. So these are both present this year. And the Wheel of Fortune is the wheel of destiny. It is things turning in your favor, because it is things turning by a hand of the divine to cause great change. But the change is always in alignment with destiny. So this is, the Wheel of Fortune comes up. It's the energy of like things are about to change. And they're going to change in such a way that like it is a shift in fate. It is a change in destiny. And it's almost like something that is like cosmic. It's written. It is ultimately in your favor because it is to align you with your destiny. And your destiny is always where your soul is going to be the most happy. And that's that. So however it looks at first in the 3D realm, it could look at first very obviously incredible and amazing, or it could be like a hidden blessing. Like it could be something that your ego doesn't like at first, but ultimately it ends you up in a far better place, where you're like truly happy, you're truly free, you're more awake, you're more conscious. Everything is more aligned, because alignment is health. It's vitality. It is the juice of life. You know, people like to make it popular nowadays that like life is so like hard to get through and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, I'm not saying life is easy, but the life is only miserable when you're incredibly out of alignment with your own soul. It's painful. And when you're in alignment, seemingly terrible things could happen, and it won't even be as terrible as when you are just like soul crushingly out of alignment with your destiny and your path. But the Wheel of Fortune is here to click, click, click that wheel back into a place where you are living in soul alignment. And so many of you who are watching this probably are like already so far in this space, and this will just be things turning in your favor. No matter what, it's things turning in your favor, but like this will just be like a little adjustments to get you more into a place of like deeper alignment, deeper joy. And no matter what, things are going to be changing for people this year. And that sounds kind of silly because things always change, don't they? But this is a year of shifts in destiny. This is a year of destiny clicking into place. You will be living much more profoundly on your destiny path by the end of 2026. This whole year, any changes that happen, I want you to remember that they are to align you with your destiny. That's that. You get it. I mean, these are two of my favorite cards in the deck, and the fact that these are the energy of this year makes me so happy. I freaking love it. Yeah, so we get the 1, and then we get the 10. Yeah, baby. So the Wheel of Fortune is like the cosmos, God, the great forces of creation are turning things in your favor. This is not something that you do. But then the Magician is you remembering your divine power to co-create with reality. So I'm getting this energy of like, it's so cool because it's like you stepping into your power to create reality and like really taking your power back and exercising all of the things that are like running in the background no matter what, but could be working against you if you're not like embracing and accepting your full power. You stepping into your divine power to create in the same way that God, the universe, source, this matrix does, is what is like causing this mere reflection of the universe to step in and positively make like big destiny changes for you in your reality. It's that whole idea that like God helps people who help themselves. When you embrace your power as a creator, God is like, great, I'm going to help you 10 times more. And like you put in some effort to make some positive shifts, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to spin this wheel in your mother freaking favor. So that is what I'm getting. It is that things will happen for you, but just watch what happens for you if you make things happen for yourself. That is the energy of this year. You're so divine, and the divine also loves you, and the divine wants to see you in your power. So it's not going to hand everything to you on a silver platter, but let's say you start to exercise your power and see how powerful you really are. It's going to give you 1,000 gold platters just for fun. Because it's like, that's the game we're playing. Like, this is meant to be fun. This is meant to be great. But also, it's not going to be fun and great if like you just get everything you want and you never like realize how magical and incredible you are. So it's like, let's just both come to play and like, let's just do this thing. And then it's going to be off the freaking chain, because life can actually give you all of the magic and all of the miracles if you are already like, if you are not shirking your responsibilities of creation, because that would just like nullify the whole point of like you being here to remember who you are and your own power. But once you do, it's like, okay, game over. Like, let's just blow your mind. Let's just blow your mind with what can really happen here. Okay, I think you guys really get it. And on the bottom of the deck, yeah, this is the end of the old version of you. And the old version of you is never fully gone, because it gets to fertilize and nourish and be like a part of the growth of this new version of you. But like, there is an essence of things that you used to be attached to. Like, what I was really getting the other day actually is that like, you know how when you remember a past memory that was like so cringy or like sad or embarrassing or like just had a strong emotional ping to it, and you have like a physical reaction to it, like let's say it's like a cringy embarrassing memory and you're like, ugh, you know, when you remember it, it's like all that stuff is attached to our pain body or like a heartbreak or something. And so like whenever it comes up, it like your pain body's attached to it, and so you like feel it, and it like causes an energetic reaction, which, you know, isn't great to like, it's just great when that releases. And so what I'm really getting is that like the pain body, the energetic body that is like connected to so many of our past experiences from past cycles, is like fully dissolving away. And like that is why we are so new in this new cycle. It's because like we're starting over with a clean slate. So what are you gonna do with that clean slate? You literally have infinite potential. What do you really want? What do you really want? This is going to be a decade where like people are, I think, just going to be like blowing the glass ceilings off in terms of reality creation, the type of life people can make and like how they can enjoy it, the way they can, you know, just do things that people never considered were possible before. So I just want you to remember, with God and with the divine, or like your knowing of your own infinite power to create whatever you want, whatever you align with. It does not have to be, this is a secular space, it does not have to be a specific belief system, but with the power of like infinity on your side, anything is possible. And this energy wants to blow your mind, it wants to blow other people's minds, but it wants to like blow this world into a whole new higher dimension, but it needs beings who are willing to work with it without like barriers of belief or barriers in, essentially barriers in belief, because it's like this mind, the universe is mental, but our beliefs are what create the like structure through which like the source light can channel in through and create. So when you have all these beliefs about this can't happen, that can't happen, then they won't happen because the source can only channel through where like the belief is possible. And this energy wants to create magic through channels that are limitless, who are like willing to at least try to believe in something that nobody has dared to before. And if you're here and you're still watching this video, you're one of those people. And, you know, one of these things could literally just be you getting to live and be and express and create in whatever way you desire, and like having that be your life. I'm talking about heaven on earth reality creation here. We are here all together to literally show what this world can be, because for so long we have been brainwashed into thinking that it has to be a certain way, and that is only to keep people from remembering the majesty, the ecstasy, the divinity of who they truly are, relying on external sources to get by, to survive. It's not true and it's not real, and we don't have to buy into it anymore. And this is a time where so many beings are stepping up and creating, like on the forefront of creation, creating a new way that is like so steeped in the ancient ways, the ancient future energy. And I know if you're still here, you're one of those people. And so you are meant to experience such incredible things so that you can be the example, and so that you can set that as an energetic possibility for others. So I love you. Let's do this thing. Get ready to shine your light, reclaim your full power, and make magic in 2026. Much love. I will catch you on the next one.